My personal view is that we need to level set this accountability review. The way we should be looking at it is this. The USG wants to transition out of its role. What bits of ICANN accountability are relevant to the USG transitioning out of its role? So to take an example, ICANN has a thing called a reconsideration process, which basically means that when a decision is made, an affected party can ask the board for it to be reconsidered. There is a huge amount of concern about that process. There has been for some time, and I know that the board acknowledges that there are difficulties with that process. However, that has nothing to do with the USG transition. It's a problem that ICANN has that needs to be solved, but it doesn't have to be solved today. It doesn't have to be solved as part of the transition. Things that do need to be solved as part of the transition include the fact that a number of the ICANN accountability mechanisms are tied to the affirmation of commitment with the US government. So for example, the Accountability and Transparency Review team stuff, we've now had the second one of those. That exists and we are mandated to do that because of the affirmation of commitment. Now logically, that should be something that is put into our bylaws. It shouldn't be something that relies on the US government to achieve, because they won't be in that position anymore. And there are some overarching accountability mechanisms which I think people are rightly concerned should be fixed. A binding independent review process for ICANN is something which I think is running very hot in the community and does need to be dealt with. So I'm not suggesting that there aren't a bundle of things that need to be dealt with. I'm not suggesting that there's not a huge amount of work to do. There is. My concern is more that we end up doing more than we should do, because some things can simply be dealt with over time. And I mean, you know, what I think I'm encouraging people to do, and I think certainly from hearing Larry Strickling speak in Istanbul at the IGF, was to say, you know, take the view that there are accountability things in ICANN that need to be handled because the US is leaving, and try and deal with those. And you know, they've said, and again, same thing, if you don't come to us with a consensus piece, we won't transition. So the onus is on us to get that done.